You are all probably aware by now, but we do have an Xbox Developer Direct coming our way this coming Thursday, and we're due to get some looks at both Forza Horizon 6, Beast of Reincarnation from Game Freak, and my most anticipated game, and that's none other than Fable. Well, out of nowhere this week, Fable has suddenly leaked online due to a concept artist portfolio, and it gave us some incredible new looks at the world of Albion and what we can expect to see this coming Thursday. What I really wanted to do today was kind of dive into this. We also had some more details about what these screenshots and art are all about, and it's so bloody exciting to see what's coming our way. So with that, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's just dive right into it. Now, we have already seen some alpha footage already regarding Fable, and although it certainly looks good, it's still a little bit stiff and rough around the edges, especially regarding its combat. But one thing that I genuinely took away from that minute or so of gameplay was just the beautiful environments that we're going to be exploring. Many of you, like me, are probably insanely interested in just that genuine world of Albion overall, because let's be honest, it's been a bloody long time since we've delved into this fancy world. The last game in the series was actually a Kinect game, for Christ's sake, and safe to say it didn't land very well across the board, and I couldn't even bring myself or even stomach more than an hour of this game, but I digress. So I was actually scrolling across Twitter, or X as some of you call it now, an outlet which I've mentioned here before on the channel is called MP First, and they managed to get their hands on some of the images which come from an artist which has previously worked on this upcoming Fable game. I do have to state that we don't know how old these images or art concepts are at this stage, and I have trawled through all the info online to see if it was the case, and it was not mentioned once. That aside, these art pieces look mind-blowing, and my hype for this game is now about to overload. As for what's in these images though, in one of them you can see a protagonist looking over a large piece of land, a city in the distance. There are actually a couple of images like this with different hues and what looks like potential different seasonal changes. If you do remember back, we did have seasons in the original Fable, and Playground Games have also made some rather large emphasis about these sort of seasons in the Forza Horizon series. Again, Forza Horizon 4 held seasons as a very big aspect of the overall game, and I wouldn't expect any less with this brand new Fable. If you then take a deeper look and also zoom into one of those images, it looks like one of the signs reads Bloodstone. If you remember rightly, and if you're a Fable 2 fan, this will be very familiar, as this is actually a port town known for containing criminals and was always a very big favourite to visit within Albion. Geographically, it was surrounded by the Deadly Swamp, Wraith Marsh to the north, east and west, and by the ocean to the south, making it virtually isolated from the rest of Albion. There are also many different images around as well, showing different villages and just how the housing is structured within this brand new Fable realm. We get these sort of gorgeous and stylized thatched houses that really invoke the fantasy aspect, and it gives it such a traditional sort of fantasy vibe. You can even see quite a lot of different docile creatures like sheep, and from the alpha footage, it looks as though farm creatures do appear quite regularly, including chickens. Yes, I can safe to say that chicken kicking is definitely back. We saw it in the alpha footage, and it makes me so incredibly happy to see. Now, going back to Bloodstone, you will notice a few illustrations also depict the entrance of a castle that's nested between some mountains, which seemingly is the entry point to this brand new location. There also are layouts revealing the structure of Bloodstone, depicting different zones such as a market district, an arena, an artisan area, a pub island, and a path that could be leading towards a character named Jacobs. There are also some other uncoloured images which I'll pop on screen now, and they kind of show off the aforementioned market district, where you can spot a few different storefronts such as a fishmonger and also a shop named the Phoenix Feather. It does give us some very good insights as to what we can potentially expect when it comes to trading or purchasing items from different vendors, and potentially who we can meet, so it's definitely a bit of an insight there as well. If you do look though, in another illustration, which we only have one of, you can actually see several explorations of different chests that we'll be able to loot, which does include a nice detail since one of the art references used is originally one of the original chests from the first title. I did delve deeper into this artwork, and I did actually realise that a lot of the images show the exact same buildings twice, but one being alive, and well, the other being old, decaying, and ultimately destroyed. Of course, as we all know, Fable is going to be built upon choice and consequence, and I fully expect we may be able to influence its towns, cities, or settlements that get attacked or even destroyed. If you look at the Xbox Wire post and the details about the upcoming Xbox Developer Direct, they did mention that sort of stuff is coming back in a very big way, and this could be similar to what we're seeing with something like Clockwork Revolution. If you cast your mind back to the Xbox June showcase, InXile did say that they're working on choices affecting the environment, so this potentially could come over to Fable. The final few images though show the protagonists making their way through sewers, which are definitely invoking a very dark and dreary tone to them, and then ultimately facing off against a werewolf standing atop a cage. We did see a glimpse of this werewolf within the alpha gameplay as well, and this is where I mentioned that combat was looking a little bit stiff across the board. If they do nail the combat though, which I fully expect they will, it's looking like a great way to face off against some mythical and even not so mythical beasts. One thing you may have noticed throughout these pictures though is that the protagonist definitely seems to be that woman that we've already seen being shown during the trailers, and I hope that doesn't actually mean we're going to be stuck with her. It's not that I personally care what she looks like at all, but for me, older Fable games gave us a choice of character and also design, so it would be a bit weird to fix us to one singular character design. It does look although like we can change the different hair designs, and of course we can expect to don a different outfit here and there based on our gear, etc, etc. One of the images does show us within a cloak with a sort of sword sheathed by our side, so I fully do expect we'll be able to customize it in some form of imagination. I did also see a post from Rebs Gaming over on X as well, and it was mentioned by MP First that according to the file names, the location on the images that I'm showing you on screen now is for a town called Hamlet, and this appears to host the protagonist's home. As I mentioned, it interestingly has two versions which are available, with one being standard and then another having the tag of a aftermath of a flood. That is absolutely huge in terms of variety and news, and we could see some potential weather effects also coming into the mix, which should actually vary up the different environments. That could be a very unique take, and one that actually has me excited beyond anything else in this video today. Of course though, it should be mentioned that all the details seen today should actually be treated as subject to change, as I have not actually been able to confirm the origin dates of the illustrations as I mentioned earlier, and they could actually belong to early conceptualizations of this entire game. But I digress, it's quite cool to have a look and potentially see what we could have in this upcoming Fable. With the upcoming presentation as well described as a first extended look at Fable, a possible release window may actually be around the corner and sooner than we expect. If you remember, development on this game was first reported around 2018, and I believe earlier in that year, so after 8 years of development, we are hopefully on the verge of finally experiencing the next chapter on this beloved series. Honestly, this is just beyond exciting at this point, and all points to an incredible Fable game that I, like many of you, have just been waiting for years at this point to play. I've always had faith within Playground Games, and this Thursday cannot come soon enough. Of course, I will be live streaming the event, so do subscribe down below and come and join me on Thursday, but as always, I will do a follow-up video here and there covering all the details and more, so make sure you are tuned to the channel as you won't want to miss those. Do of course though let me know your thoughts about these images. Do they make you more excited for Fable? Are you keen on the direction, and do you think this is a good sign for this franchise? Do let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button as well if you enjoy this new style of videos here. Obviously I've got a brand new setup now. I'm sort of having a look at sort of changing a few things here and there. Let me know how the camera is and so much more, as obviously we'll be doing many more videos like this in the near future. Of course, do make sure to check out the video on screen now if you do want to see my review of the recently released Mio Memories in Orbit. It's just landed on Xbox Game Pass as of recording this video today, so definitely check it out if you're a fan of Silksong and other Metroidvanias.